This is the certified teacher website that I use. I have passed the practice test one time. I've taken it twice, but failed the first time. There's exam mode, so you can see whatever you need to work on. There's study mode, and you get to practice on your individual study needs. And you go over each question, and you also get feedback. And then there is flashcard mode, which I have been using flashcard mode. It's a easy way to review. Just if you want to review concepts and terms, it's like the traditional flashcards. So just to drill, just to know, which I don't even know what this test is. So I definitely need to review this. Bilingual education. So just different terms that we'll use. Ceiling is the max score. So I said I was studying the first competency. No. I will be studying the first domain. I'll take a quiz on this first domain. The first domain includes eligibility criteria and identification procedure, diversity and evaluation plan and instruction. I have difficulties with the first one, eligibility criteria and identification procedure, because you do have to know your 30, 30, 90. 30, 30, 45. That's something I have difficulty. So I misspoke whenever I said I was going to be studying the different competencies. Competencies are the smaller category under domains. So this week I'm going to be studying domain 1 because it is my first week of studying. Even though I've studied for this test before, I'm going to actually be taking it in 4 weeks. So I'm going to study domain 1 this week, domain 2, then 3, then 4. But at the end of each week, I plan to take a practice test. This is just how I study. I usually get a book whenever I study material, but in the past, I was not a certified teacher, so that's why I used the book. Okay, let me resave it. When I took my first test, my initial 4 through 8 exam, I did not go to school for education. I was getting my master's in psychology, so that is my educational background. And then whenever I took my PPR test, my ESL test, my special education test, I also used the book to study as well because my background was not in education. However, for this test, I feel more comfortable with studying without the book. First of all, because there's a new test. It was TEXES 153. Now it is TEXES 253. So there isn't much material available for this test. There was only 2 books available. One book had no reviews at all, and the other book had, I think, a 2.5 rating on Amazon, and only 9 people have reviewed the test. So I'm not sure if they're biased or not. So I don't necessarily trust that studying material. So I'd much rather go with the certified teacher, which I pay for the 153. So I'm going to be studying all material, but I'll also be using the preparation manual to assist me with the essay portion, because I know that part of the exam is completely different. There was not an essay portion on 153, but there is an essay portion on 253. And I think that's the main difference between the 2 tests. And I heard some people talk about differences between the tests, about it being more behavior per se, which as educational diagnostician, we're not necessarily looking for behavior disorders. We're looking for learning disabilities. So yeah. So I will be just making these videos each day as I am studying for my test, and then eventually I'm going to put those videos together so that you can see my journey for studying for the educational diagnostician exam. It's very quiet in my house. It's just me and my dog right now, and I prefer to study at the library, but yeah, we'll see how this works. It is the night before my educational diagnostician exam, and I am currently studying by taking a full exam. I'm feeling a little nervous about the exam, but I mostly am just ready to get it over with. I tend to do good with exams like this. However, because there were no updated material guides when I purchased my materials, I've been studying the exam material from 153. And I'm going to look over the essay portion so that I can at least have an idea of what I'll be writing about and have an outline. This will be an interesting exam. Yeah, so I decided midway through the test to not even do the practice exam anymore. I was getting most of the questions correct. I wasn't getting them all correct. I don't see the point at this point. And I feel that I would just get I was just going to get frustrated if the results were not going to be what I wanted them to be. But I'm pretty sure I would pass it. Based on my skills score, I finished a little bit over half of the test. My score was, more than 50%. And that's about how much, a little bit over 50% is what I finished. So I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine with that. I don't want no stress about it. I am in my car about to head to the testing location. I have my retainers in because I already know I may be grinding my teeth. So I'm like, might as well have those in to be prepared. I'm a little nervous, but I'm mostly excited to just have this over with. I've been in the process of getting the certification since June 2020, so I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to keep it moving. Right. I don't know what's going on here. This lady is at Report on Instagram Live praying. But anyway, I just finished my educational diagnostician test. It was quite the experience. I'm walking up the stairs now. I had about a little over 2 hours left to finishing the test. I was very much annoyed by how long I had to wait to even test. I guess with COVID, the procedures and the cleanliness, and I think a lot of people was just taking their test. I had to wait 30 minutes. Well, a little over 30 minutes because I got there early. More like 40 minutes to actually take the test. And I did a piercing view center to take it with. But yeah. And then you have to like scan your palm into your pocket, put everything up. I'm like out of breath. I climbed 4 flights of stairs. But yeah, and then once I actually started to take the test, at first I was like, well, it was very annoying, the whole process. I just hate that I was second guessing myself with some, and then some of them absolutely did not know. So I did brain dump because they gave me. So yeah, when I first got inside the testing room, we had like a dry erase board, sheet of paper kind of thing, like laminated paper, I don't know. And I just brain dumped what I thought was most important, which was definitely the dates. And there was only one question about the dates. So by dates, I mean like 45 days from, I guess, FIE to ARD. There was only one question that was related to that, and I thought that was odd. I thought that those are the most important things. At least that's what our professors always told us, and I even thought so too, knowing those protocols. However, there were so many questions on professional duties. I'm trying to think of an example. Oh, like the principal's role at the art meetings. There was questioning about child fine, which I feel like I've heard of child fine before, but I've never used it. So I was very confused. There were like 2 or 3 questions on child fine. I was like, what the heck is child fine? There was like 1 question on percentile, which I expected more. Of course, the like the different achievement tests and figuring out what an academic strength is and what's an academic weakness, those were on there. But those are pretty much straightforward to me because you can just look at and see a trend in those categories. The essay portion of the test, I actually thought it was fairly easy. You have to type 400 to 600 words. You look at data. So you look at, on there was like an informal reading inventory. There was the Wyatts on there where they give you scores and all that. And then they gave a report of how the student did in interventions in order to qualify for testing for special ed. And so you basically had to find one academic strength, one academic weakness, provide using evidence based on the data that they gave you, and you had to do an intervention that you would like to do, an evidence-based intervention, and then you also had to do how the teacher would implement the intervention. And for my student, it was like I don't know if I could share exactly the example, but I just used the intervention that I've used before in class. Overall, I feel okay about the test. I don't know that I passed the test. I'd never know these things because part of me felt like I failed because by the end I was just so frustrated. But then I started writing the essay and then I was like, okay, I feel more confident now. And then I went back to review the questions that I had flags on. And I had flags on so many questions that I was frustrated with myself for even putting that many flags on the questions. And I went back through most of the flag questions, but not all of them because I was just ready to get out of there. I think you have a total of 300 minutes, and I was in there a little bit over 150 minutes. That's too much on top of having to wait. I was like, my goal was to finish the test after 2 hours. And what time is it now? I started around 1:30 and it is 4 o'clock now. I was expecting to be done by now, so I'm hoping that I did well. Wish me luck. If it's not meant to be, that's okay. Because I already have a job as a teacher. I don't plan on being an educational diagnostician this school year, but I do want to get this out of the way since I've been on this journey, like I said, since June. I'm just ready to be done. Absolutely done with this whole certification process. And that way I can, start something else in my life. Even if I don't become an educational diagnostician, I still want to pass this test because I don't like to start anything and not finish it. I'm very much a person that if I pursue something, I really want to do well at it and finish it. So especially something like school, even though I did consider quitting school multiple times, but yeah. So I'll update you. They'll be emailing me my results. Today is August 6th, so I guess we'll be writing on the results. Usually like these tests, the results come back the next week, but I'm not sure because now there's an essay portion on the TEXES test. I've never had a test through TEXES, which is our educational test. That's the name of the test, and I've never had a test like that, so I'm not sure if it's gonna take longer. And finally, before I stop this video, I am so glad that I brought my retainers because I was clenching my jaws like crazy. So that definitely helped my teeth out and my jaws out a little bit, to just alleviate that pressure and also not scrape my teeth up. So yeah. If you grind your teeth like me, bring your mouth guard. I did like that they had provided the it's like earplug. It's not earplugs. I don't know what you call those. They're like headphones kind of, but I guess they are called headphones. Hello. They're headphones, but they're noise canceling headphones and you can't hear anything. That was helpful for me because someone was typing the whole time. I'm like, what kind of test are you taking? And I was just like, Jesus. So I just couldn't deal. They were a little tight. I wish I would have been able to bring some earplugs instead, but yeah. Okay, I just got the results saying, I just got an email saying that the results for my educational diagnostician exam is available. So I'm gonna open the email while recording myself. I am very nervous because I don't want to fail because I don't want to have to retake it. And I've never failed a test before, not a career test at least. Any of my teacher certification tests. None of the 5 tests that I've taken. So let's see. I passed my 4 through 8 test, my PPR test, my ESL test, my special education test. We sent to this email as a PDF attachment by 10 p.m. Central Time on 8/20/21. So it's saying that it's going to be sent by this time tomorrow. It is now August 20th. My actual exam posting date well, the days my scores are supposed to be posted. I'm going to open the results. Yesterday I thought I got the results because I got an email for them, but they were just sending an email to say be on the lookout for the exam results. So I got the results. I got the results at 8:03, which is like almost 2 hours before that they said I would have them. They said I would have them by 10 p.m. I didn't open it when I got it because I wanted to take a nap. And then I wanted to make sure that I record the video. So let's see how this goes. So I was going to record a video of me, my actual screen, but then I realized that there was sensitive information on the test. So, on the screen. So I passed. Wow, I can't believe I passed because I was not that I, don't think that I shouldn't pass, but I'm always on the fence about these tests. I'm never sure if I passed or not, because when I take the test, I sometimes second guess myself and then I'll end up flagging questions. But then by the end of the test, I'm like so tired that I'm like, I'm not looking over all these questions again. So yeah, I passed the TEXES 253. I'm like shocked. Yeah, I'm excited. And I studied with the same exam information as the TEXES 153, and my professors, that's all they gave us. Now the score looks a little different. There's not this typical skill score that you get for the teacher certification tests. I don't know if they stopped doing that or if they're just not doing that for the educational diagnostician test, or if they're just passing anybody. I don't know. Because it is a new test, so I'm not sure if they're using a lot of questions for research or not. But yeah, so usually you have to get a 240 out of 300 to pass. I am excited this journey is over. So I completed my educational diagnostician test, and the next steps are for me to apply for my certification through my university, which will send me a certificate, and it will look just like a degree or diploma that you can frame. But I believe that I had to finish this part before I could receive that. So exciting.